Okay, I would like to address more points on coconut oil and olive oil because I really don't believe that this is getting through to people, and so I want to just again give more points on this to consider. Point number one: for all of the low-fat promoters out there that say that olive oil and coconut oil are unhealthy, first you must basically take down all of the results on PubMed of studies on coconut oil and olive oil and replace them with your own studies showing that they are unhealthy. So for example, if you go to PubMed and you type in coconut oil, you will get over 1,400 results. If you type in olive oil, you will get over 6,000 results. So again, in order to make your case, because the burden of proof is on you because you make the claim that they're unhealthy to consume, then first you must tear down these studies and erect or replace them with your own studies that you have conducted. So unless you're willing to take the time and the effort to do that, you have no ground to stand on, and therefore I rest my case with that point. Second point to consider: the same people that are promoting this low-fat diet, that are telling you to avoid coconut oil and olive oil, are also oftentimes people who are applying lotions and creams onto their skin without realizing that whatever they put onto their skin, their body consumes. We've all heard the saying, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. People, these lotions, these creams, whatever, contain chemicals and non-food items that you would never put into your mouth willingly because you know that they would make you sick or cause you to die. But yet people slather them all over themselves. Strangely enough, they still don't realize that whatever you're putting onto your skin, your body is absorbing. So not only do you absorb and take in nutrition internally, but also externally by things that you apply onto your skin. So when you apply coconut oil or olive oil to your skin literally drinks that up. It eats it up and it gets into your bloodstream. That's why people rave about using coconut oil and olive oil, and they attribute it to maintaining a youthful appearance well into their 70s, 80s, 90s, or above without wrinkles, because of them applying the oil onto their skin, which goes into the skin, nourishes it, and goes into the bloodstream. Their skin, their body is basically eating what they're putting onto their body. So, therefore, if these things are good for the body externally, and it ends up going into the system, but yet they're saying not to consume it internally, is not that a contradiction? Yes, it is a contradiction. It doesn't logically make sense. Why would something be good for you externally, but then turn around and say not to consume it internally? Doesn't make any sense. Third point: many of the low-fat promoters accuse people that promote coconut oil and olive oil that we're preaching to eat a high-fat diet, and nothing could be further from the truth. I've always said to consume a good whole food plant-based diet and use oils in moderation, plant oils that is. For example, one whole avocado has 29 grams of fat, 322 calories, yet 1 teaspoon of olive oil only has 5 grams of fat and 40 calories. So, in terms of how much fat you want to consume and how many calories you want to get, clearly the better choice would be the 1 teaspoon of olive oil. But yet, if they're preaching, oh, just eat whole foods because whole foods are better than oil, well, then you're missing out, because by consuming the 1 teaspoon of oil over the 1 whole avocado, even though you get all the nutrition, and I would highly recommend that because I don't believe that plant fats will make you fat, but nevertheless, if you consume the 1 teaspoon of olive oil, you dramatically will lower the calorie content of your diet, thus putting you into kind of a calorie restriction mode, which has been shown to have longevity benefits. So you actually benefit from that. And by the way, you can't, just because somebody consumes or thinks of a low-fat diet doesn't mean that you can't consume oil. You can consume oil in a low-fat diet because clearly I've just shown that. Many whole foods actually have more calories and fat than 1 or 2 teaspoons of oil. So it's the amount that you got to take into consideration of what you're actually consuming. Of course we're not saying to consume the whole bottle. People make these crazy assumptions about those who consume coconut and olive oil and misrepresent what we're actually saying. And they kind of just brush everything off because they have a very biased opinion about things. They're not open-minded about looking at this through, a logical lens, if you will, or logical glasses. So that's the third point. And the fourth point, again, is just to consider that all throughout the biblical history, because the Bible could be referred to as a historical book. It's actually a collection of 66 books that were written by various different authors. Okay, there's books of law, there's letters, and throughout history, people have consumed olive oil, and it's what helped maintain their health and youthful appearance. So unless you can tear all that down and replace and show that it's not true, then again you have no ground to stand on. So I've just mentioned 4 good points, okay? And if I think of any more, I'll make a video on that. But I've made 4 good points to consider that olive oil and coconut oil are indeed healthy. And of course you have real living testimony of that about people that have used it for Alzheimer's. And regardless if there isn't actually a specific study that actually proves it 100%, nevertheless we do have a living testimony of someone that did consume coconut oil and was helped by that. So if you only believe something that's written in stone from a study, which could be flawed right from the get-go, then how can you really excel and move forward in health? You really can't. So I believe that we should be very careful of the natural hygiene philosophy and understand more about what is healthy and what is not healthy. Look at the historical evidence and then make your own conclusion. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please like, favorite, and subscribe.